So here we are with the part 1 celebration underway. We're about a day and a half through, and I already want to make a this week in Dokkan, just talking about how enjoyable this initial launch of the part 1 Global Dokkan Celebration has been. And if you're just to, inject a little positivity, because if you noticed, I mean, hey, maybe you follow only Doomers, but I will say, after the content dropped, after the characters were finally in our hands, I've seen a lot less shit talk. Let's just say that. I shouldn't be cursing the first minute of the video, but I'll just say that. There's been a lot less of that blah, 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 worst celebration ever, Dokkan's dead, 10 years terrible, ever since it actually dropped. And it's because Dokkan actually did quite a bit well going into, they did quite a bit of good going into this part 1. And I want to say, if you were feeling negative about Dokkan going into the celebration, I do just want to clarify, they didn't do a good job in marketing this. They did say, biggest celebration ever, biggest launch ever, essentially another anniversary in 1 year, essentially, the half anniversary, 2 anniversaries a year from here on out. I get it, but what they didn't do is pipe up what we're actually getting. Obviously no fuse, they don't even fuse, but hey, top grossing, you know what I mean? They said, oh, these characters don't even fuse, and you know what they said instead? Can we even see it here? Nah, I don't think so. They said, oh, these characters don't even fuse, bam, top grossing in your mouth. So we've already got top grossing for JP. We'll probably get top grossing at least somewhere for global, so a bunch of stones on the way. I mean, hey, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess what happens if they don't fuse and we don't hit top grossing? I guess we'll never know. So, I'll say that. Obviously, there are some people who aren't really feeling the animations for this Goku. I like them. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. That's just me personally. And obviously, I think the active skill is phenomenal. If nothing else, this active skill is crazy. But I've seen some people compare it to they're like, oh, well, it doesn't look like the 10-year anniversary units. It's like, I guess, but I said this before, I don't really compare animations one-to-one. So long as they look good in their own regard, I don't really care that every single time Dokkan releases something new that they oust the previous thing, right? Because if that's the case, Dokkan really hasn't beaten 2022, in my opinion. When I look at 2022 characters as a EZA, a lot of 2022 characters who you couldn't say 2023 and 2024 packing up. So, that's my opinion there. So yeah, that's these characters. I wanted to start there, that these characters have been a massive success. While characters like the Zamasu side of this card look underexplored, and obviously we can poke fun at the Super Bosses tag here, there is nothing in my mind that feels as though, this Goku version of the card is a huge success, right? Just an overwhelming success from this card. I think they did it perfectly. They're not really complex characters. They're pretty basic, but I think, every once in a while I'll say, I wish they made this character more interesting. I like characters like Ginyu, etc., etc., but ultimately, when you have a character like Goku Black, who, remove the Zamasu part of this card. When you have a character like Goku Black, who has so routinely been terrible, every single time they release a Goku Black or EZA Goku Black, he's mid or bad. They really did need to just nail this one. Animations look phenomenal. If you have any complaints about the Goku and Vegeta cards animations, you don't have any about this card's animations. They're just all really good. If you do, I mean, at some point, you just kind of don't like Dokkan, I guess? I don't know. I think it's one of those things where... And again, I always say this. I'm not the biggest fan of Super, but there is a time where you just have to admit, oh, that looks really good. You know what I mean? They did with Super's art style what they could, and this looks amazing. This looks awesome. So it's just I don't know. I don't really know how much more there is to say. If there is a big downside to these characters, obviously it's that the Zamasu portion of the card and the Vegeta portion of the other card are just a little underwhelming. But even then, I actually talked about this in the summoning video. My theory is that they thought you'd use both sides. So they thought that, like, this is supposed to be the Vegeta side of the card, but I can refresh it here. I think what they thought is that they could make a tag unit where you have the Goku in slot 1 and Vegeta in slot 2 or slot 3, and you have the Goku Black in slot 1 and then the Zamasu in slot 2 or slot 3. And it would just sort of work like that. But obviously when you make rotations, you don't put the two leader skills on the same rotation. I just think that there is an argument to be made that maybe that's what they were going for, because these two characters, you know, the Carnival and the DFE, they are obviously a pair of characters who fight together pretty closely. So the idea that you could put them on the same rotation would make a lot of sense to me. But as I said, and as I scroll down here, you know, 6 links right here, right? And if I go over here and I scroll down, you know, 6 links right here. So I think that's what was going on, and we can actually go from super bosses to here. And if you remember with this character, I brought this up in the summon video, 7 links, right? So for a while, if you weren't here during the 9th anniversary, what would happen is you would put Broly on one rotation and then transform a Broly on that same rotation after floating, and you would have a 7-link transform Broly just going ham. I think that's what they were going for. You know, don't argue with me, because I'm not trying to have like an argument. I'm just saying I think that's what we could say they were going for with making them kind of very different and making the other sides maybe a little underwhelming, quote unquote. But we'll see. Obviously we're getting, I mean, I guess we'll just get to that. So what is another thing that we got here? Let's scroll down and continue to explore the options here, because there's a ton that I just want to say they did very, very well. Here we go. So another thing they did very, very well, and you guys know me, I'm the biggest hater. You know, I'm the biggest hater when it comes to free to play. They punch me right in my mouth. They punch me right in my fucking mouth, because I think that these guys are pretty good. The moment I saw them, did I not say they're going to be bad? I was wrong. I'll say it. I was wrong. They're pretty good. And you might be wondering, like, why am I giving them some leeway, but I didn't really give leeway to Piccolo LR and Bardock LR? The reason is, and this is a big thing for me, and you don't have to agree with this. Again, you don't have to agree with anything I'm saying. The reason this is a big deal to me, though, is because this character is a Dokkan Fest or Carnival level moment. And instead, we kind of got a, I mean, for this moment, for what this moment is, for how much they used, because it's not just about the fact that he's free to play, it's that they used a lot. They used a lot of some of the most iconic moments in the entire series for a free to play card. And they look great. And then you think about it and you keep going, well, he'll be fine once he gets a team. Once he gets a team, quote unquote. Once he gets a team. And guess what? Golden, you know, Global Dokkan Celebration showed up. And we don't have a demonic power lead. Once he gets a team, once he gets a team, once he gets a team, once he gets a team. The clock's ticking. Clock's ticking on that guy. And in the same way, they made this card who has a bunch of original animations and like nods to very important, like, you know, I don't know, like really important moments that could be really cool if they decided to make this like a full power card. And instead, that's so sick. And instead, what we kind of got is like a character who is completely faded out. Fine if you like Festival of Battles, was okay in a lot of the red zone stages, but has completely disappeared from discourse. Like I said, another example of like they used a bunch of things, made a bunch of cool animations, and the sum of them is essentially they're pretty good for a free-to-play unit, right? Whereas like they didn't really use anything here. They reused assets. They're really good. They fill out a space which is just helping the super bosses lead. And you get them really easily. You farm them easily. The animations are so basic. It's so nice that they are. These aren't amazing. They aren't LRs. It's not wasted from anything. Like, this is how you reuse animations. This is how you implement these things. And that looks nice, right? So it's like just a great you know, judo throw by Dokkan. A great judo throw by Dokkan to understand the assignment and just give us a very nice thing if you're getting into the game. And even if you're not getting into the game, you'll probably find something to use these characters for. They got great links. Obviously you go here. They got great links with our new characters, right? They don't demand that they be in like slot 1 or something. Like, yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. Supports that float and help out the team. That's good. Let's go to the next thing. What is another one? Oh yeah, this guy. This is another example of like, and you know, Truth brought this up. They're right next to each other. Look at the difference here, man. Like, what? I'll be honest, guys. I'm one of those people. Like, I only pay for the subscription, low spend and free to play, whatever you want to call me. I don't really do these like super EZAs. I get the stones and I leave because these characters aren't fucking useful usually. This guy is. Again, another example of like, for whatever reason, they decided that they were going to like randomly make this a strong, easy, like free to play character. So strong, in fact, that if you're someone who like usually doesn't do these, I'd suggest getting this guy. All right. Like, he's good enough, and while he does have this wonky condition still, and it's not like, you know, guaranteed or anything, it's still a good kit, all right? He's giving 40% support, right? 40% support, 60% damage reduction, huge evasion if you ding this, like, restrictive, but fine, otherwise fine. Like, chalk that up next to this. Terrible. Absolutely terrible, right? So it's just like, and again, terrible, but has such good animations. They just completely wasted. And that's the big thing. When you use a bunch of shit that I care about and you make them free to play and terrible, I dock points. I'm sorry. That's really bad. Because guess what? When they finally make this a DFE or a yellow coin or a carnival, people are going to be mad when they reuse these animations. But why wouldn't they? They're amazing. Like, they're really good. So I don't know. Just another one of those things where I think they really succeeded there. We haven't gotten this yet. We're getting this in a few days, but I mean, I don't need to say it. You've probably seen Truth talk about it. Again, really powerful, super easy A's. I went ahead and actually I went ahead and grabbed these because I stupidly didn't wait for the banner, because I knew that I would be grabbing this character from the coin shop to go with the rosé, and then he ended up being on that banner. But I did end up getting dupes from pulling on the blue Goku, so, you know, c'est la vie, but it's insanely powerful. I think these are definitely worth grabbing at least one copy of each here, and, you know, running on your teams. Super, super strong. And as we continue, Ultimate Clash, I'm not really going to say much about it. I'm just going to say that it was a great choice to make it a nice, timely, quick thing to deal with. Like, you only need 35 characters to actually enter it. I beat it with, like, first attempt. I beat the Vegito that's in this. First attempt, no problems. It's a really long fight because he just has a bunch of HP, but if you have, like, a good, solid team, then it's no problem at all. So get that done. And where are they? Do we see them anywhere? Did I skip it somehow? Let's see. Maybe I'm blind. Challenge event. Ah, here it is. Boy, oh boy, peak. And here's where we get into maybe some controversy here. So they released these stages. And the Goku and Vegeta one aren't so bad, but, and that here's the Goku and Vegeta one, they're not so bad, but these guys right here, pretty powerful. Truth uploaded a video as the day of recording this that's about an hour and change, like a mega long video, multiple teams just trying to crush this fight. No items, of course. And even if you use items, I could see this one being a little tough. I could see it being real tough. We arguably have the new hardest fight in the game, and it's sweet, man. It's sweet. Let's go through the positives, because you're hearing me, you're going, oh my god, I can't believe the Fusion Zamasu 2. No, wrong, incorrect. I usually don't say people are just wrong, you know, everyone's allowed their opinion. Wrong. This is not Fusion Zamasu Red Zone 2. Incorrect. The reason it's not is because there are no temp limits, and we're in 2025. You are not going to gaslight me into believing that the Fusion Zamasu fight was difficult just because it was like poorly made or something. You won't. You'll never get that out of me. Why was that fight bad? That fight was bad because this was the best character in the game against it. And if you know anything, you know that that's not a great sign. That fight was bad because characters like Super Saiyan 4 into Goku were trash. Characters like Omega Shenron from Tanabata, trash. Characters like, you know, in Tree of Might, Spirit Bomb, Goku, trash. Okay, like, let's not act like this, or rather, let's not act like this is such a uniquely bad fight. And on top of that, it had the attempt limit. It genuinely would have been fine to have this fight as it is if we were still coming out with characters like Tao and Tien. Do you know what 2023, or was it 2023? Yeah, 2023 Dokkan would have looked like if Tao and Tien got lost, like, I don't know, 20% of their stats, but kept their kit and were just dropped in there? They'd be the best characters in the game. You would have called Tao and Tien the best characters Dokkan had ever dropped if they dropped and killed Fusion Zamasu, right? The issue was that the characters were bad, not that the fight was like this uniquely horrible thing. So we arrive here and we have a lot of good characters. And not only that, I'm seeing people say, oh, it's just Million Arena. Oh my god, that we're just doing Million Rotation Simulator, Million Arena. Wrong again. I mean, it's good cope. It's good cope to say that and then be like, haha, I got him. But that's just not gonna work outside of Twitter. Like, it's gonna work on Twitter where you're just trying to get like a funny, you know, it's like Reddit humor, you know, you're trying to get like an upvote. But it's not realistic, because Million Arena is you reset so that you can win. You don't reset and win here. You know, you can go back, go watch Truth play this event for over an hour. Plenty of good times where he had a run going and there was no resetting. The first turn went fine, but guess what? Hard fights aren't just the first turn. There are decisions to be made. When are you going to use your active? What team are you going to do? Did your character dodge here? It's all RNG, obviously. There's a lot of RNG in Dokkan. This is a good fight. This is a good Dokkan fight. They finally found a way to make... One, you can attack lower this character. They finally found a way to make fights with two characters difficult. Zamasu is meaningful. Goku Black is meaningful. I mean... Yeah, I don't know. This is a masterwork fight, I think. I think they did a really good job. Maybe I'll sour on this. Maybe this will age like milk. You don't have to beat this fight no items. You don't have to beat this fight first try. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, we all beat festival battles eventually. I think this is the best hard fight they've come out with this year, maybe. Just, I mean, it could be honeymoon phase, but it feels like it. They really cooked. I kept saying that what I keep saying, I've been saying this for literal months. I've been saying this for months and fucking months. I've been saying that the only way that you stop these two fuckers is by actually giving this character trouble and then forcing this out. By the way, this character can die in there. That's Goku Black. Goku Black's an imp boss. He'll fucking kill Vegito. Clapping my fucking hands together. Masterwork. Masterwork. And we don't even know what's coming in part 2. Remember that part 2 and part 3 are usually when we get our hard fights, quote unquote. This could be the Golden Frieza of 10th anniversary. Remember when we got that Golden Frieza fight where he would super immediately and just kill your slot 1? hey, guess what, baby? We're in a position where, you know, people are saying, oh, these characters aren't good enough. You better have your fucking slot ones ready. Yeah, they cooked. They cooked. Is there anything else I really want to talk about here? Not really, honestly. I think those are the big points, but a great week in Dokkan, a great start to the week. Still plenty more to go in this part 1. I think they're good. I don't really think they need to do anything else in this part 1. Obviously, we're probably going to get the Int Trunks and Int Zamasu, or Int Vegeta and Trunks and Int Zamasu at some point this celebration. But if they just stopped, I mean, this would be a crazy part 1 so far. What a content drop. But yeah, with all being said, I've been Lone. Like if you like the video, so you're kind of subscribe to join the club. We all gonna make it, and peace.